Need to like, I don't even know. I'm not supposed to talk into the top of the mic, right? So I want it more like here-ish. But then I'm only talking to one side, but it has stereo audio, so it's probably fine. Do I have a on action? Oh my god. Alright, fine. Let's go normal. Honestly, probably looks the best. I look less red. Bad McGree. You are here before the Twitch notification even goes live. Congratulations, my dude. I'm at everyone. Presentation on the You were waiting for me to stream? Let's go. Okay. Presentation on the devilfish plus video react. Go, go, go. I'm waiting for the notification to go out and then I'll send it. I like it when everyone pours in at once. I think that's funny. So I wait, the Twitch notification will happen and you'll see because it'll say in chat, the bot will talk in chat. That's how you know the Twitch notification happened. And then I send them add everyone in Discord. And so we get everyone from Discord and everyone with the Twitch notification just fucking at once. Just to pile in. And I find that hilarious. But congratulations, you're way early. It's like I'm a one viewer streamer again, just chilling. Hi, Emily. 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 Why does the third one have two L's? Emily, Emily, Emily. L. Should I add everyone now? Why is Twitch taking so long to send out the notification? There we go. Took you long enough, Twitch. My dude. Now everyone pours in. Ready, set, go. What's up? Holy shit, what's with the follows? Oh, is it new people in the Discord who just came to the stream to follow and chat? Hi, everyone. What's up, Cup Man? Alright, who do I recognize? GV the Red Star, what's up? Wow, that's a lot of names I don't know. Holy shit, I can't find another name that I know. Banana Pug, I know Banana Pug.
Poggers.
Thank you, Fried Eggs. Hi, Nair. Hi, KLP. I don't know you, but you said hi to me, so I'll say hi. Do you recognize me, Lego Fish? Don't think so. What's up, Pikachu?
Poggers.
What's up, Cutman? Thank you. Damn, Cutman shows up, he types, "This is my first stream," and then immediately subs.
I'm a security guard at a volleyball game right now.
That's so sick. Wait, why are you your security guard at a volleyball game? Did they think that someone was going to attack the volleyball game? Why did they need a security guard? What's up, Wolf? Thank you, Cutman. As I was saying, Cutman, my favorite type of viewer, comes in. Hey, nice to see you. First stream, subs immediately. Good man. How you been, Wolf? Haven't seen you in a while. I saw you talking to someone about something in the Discord like a couple days ago, but... What's up, Theo? Pimpus Chimp, I recognize your name from the Discord. Beepo Sleepo! I love Beepo Sleepo. Beepo Sleepo, if you guys don't know, won, I believe, the first Invent a Fish competition, right? Now we have another Invent a Fish. Did you submit one, Beepo Sleepo? Did you submit? Are you gonna win? You're gonna be the first two-time? You feel like you're always in class when I stream? That's fair. Then again, my schedule's pretty sporadic in general, so it's hard to say. When does Invent-A-Fish end? I believe it's a little less than 24 hours from now. I haven't looked. But I started it on a Saturday, right? Like midday Saturday, and I said a week. So it'll probably end midday tomorrow. I'll warn you guys like 4 or 5 hours in advance, at worst. Hopefully it's like 12 hours in advance. We'll see. Thinking of changing your name to Bunny Emperor, should you? Yes. Parallax with 7 underscores is a terrible name, and it reminds me of Parallax, who's a friend of mine. It confuses me why you, Parallax, and Parallax both exist. If you guys are subbed on Twitch, by the way, you get a special role in the Discord and a special chat that only people who are subbed can talk in. It's usually chaos and people say funny things. Can you check my fish? I just posted it. No, I can't. We'll have a top 50 and then I'm gonna go through and pick my top 16 and then the sad. Now I feel bad because you put Sag. You'll see the top 16, then we'll do the stream and everything. There are a lot of good submissions. I will say the first time, I mean, like, I had trouble picking the top 16 because there were like 30-ish really good submissions. This time there's like more than 100 like actually good, like theoretically with good voting could win. What's up, Dark in E Dice Dragon? Yeah, Nair, Monk W. Luckily, I'm not the one who has to go through it. New spot for recording? Yeah, I'm in my dorm. You guys like it? Oh, sorry, wait, I'm not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to... I forgot the bit. I'm sorry. Wait. Yeah, I'm in prison. I went to prison for, I don't know, what did I go to prison for, guys? Fish abuse, manslaughter, fish trafficking. Bro, make your bed. Bro, shut up. Murder, fish crime. Hey, yo, what's for dinner? I had Little Caesars for dinner. I ordered with DoorDash. If you guys don't know, DoorDash and like Uber and all those companies are like failing companies that are just like hemorrhaging money at all times in order to try to make a profit. In order to try and like get a bunch of customers so that when they raise the prices, they make a profit. But for now, it's super cheap. So I just DoorDash some Little Caesars, got some cheesy bread. Hi, Nat. How are you? Did I look like you thought I would, Zach? Yes. You look like a crackhead zoomer in there. You have a nice like jawline and form, though. I mean, crackhead zoomers can look a lot of different ways, but you weren't surprising, you know?
It's my first time here, so I hope you don't recognize me, because if you do, we have big issues, because it means we have entered parallel universe territory. Then again, I really want the way we discover
Thank you, Orange Tail Gaming.
Universes to be a Twitch stream about fish.
Poggers.
What's up, CJ? CG? You know, you guys want to know a fun fact? In French, the G is pronounced J, and the J is pronounced J. So I always read them backwards. Thank you, Cupman. Hype Train Poggers. Alright, should I talk about fish or should I keep talking to chat? Hi, Peaser. Hi, Lucille. Hi, Cupman. Talk to me specifically. Hi, Nair. Are you gonna do a rematch YLYL when Soap comes over? Not this time, but at some point in the future, it might be a fun thing to do. You must be annoyed when people say dolphins and ichthyosaurs are fish. How often do you think people say that dolphins and ichthyosaurs are fish? Do you think that that's a common thing? First of all, most people haven't even heard of an ichthyosaur. How hot is your room? Too fucking hot. There's no air conditioning. I usually have the window open, but I didn't want, like, if someone was outside doing something to, like, hear. I don't know. Not exactly the most soundproof walls. I think today we'll do the presentation like this. Can I do presentation ASMR? The devilfish is a Taiwanese urban legend. You should make an accurate version of all the videos you react to. I saw an absurd amount of comments asking me to make a 10 most dangerous fish video. Should I do that? Should I make a presentation, 10 most actually dangerous fish? Because every dangerous or scary fish presentation we've seen has been so bullshit. A lot of yeses. I was hoping you guys would say no so I didn't have to do any work. Fuck. What's your biggest fear? Not being enough for my loved ones. No, because then the other kids will copy you. Good. Then we're improving the average video quality on YouTube. Okay, fine. I'll make a 10 most dangerous fish. Oh god, geez, you're gonna make me do work? God. Whatever. Are you a very hungry lad? I always overestimate how much I eat. I was on the DoorDash app, like looking at Little Caesars, and I'm like, oh, cheesy bread, and oh, they got calzone, and they got pizza slices, and I'm just like, and then it all gets here, and I had like one slice of cheesy bread, and I was like, damn, I am stuffed. So it's all in the fridge. I ate maybe 1/10 of what I ordered, but luckily pizza stuff is like the kind of stuff that preserves pretty well. Do you use productivity apps? I do. I have a sleep app. I have like a checklist thing. I have a health thing for like steps and stuff. Little Caesars is so underrated. No, it's dog shit, but there's not much else around here. Or honestly, I don't even know. I like opened DoorDash like not knowing what I wanted and just like scrolled to a random thing.
Now that we have so many reasons why the Megalodon is alive, we need 5 reasons why the coelacanth isn't alive.
When they start making top 5 reasons coelacanth doesn't actually exist, I will be very ready to watch those videos. Do a subscribe threat. Have I told you guys? Here, wait, let me show you something. I didn't even get up the presentation or anything yet. I'm just enjoying talking to chat. Sorry if you're waiting for the presentation. Wait, I gotta show you guys something with subscribers. This is so funny. So you guys know in one of my recent videos, I like had that whole thing where I was like, you know, most people aren't subscribed. And then also we talked about like women and stuff, right?
Poggers.
This is fucking nuts. Okay, how do I make it so that you guys don't see anything? Actually, I'll just take a screenshot. Take a look at this. This is my average amount of subscribers per day. This is about like 1,000, a little over 1,000 average videos. And then this is the video where I mentioned that not many women are subscribed and also that not many of my viewers are subscribed. So there, you know, you laugh at those YouTubers who are like,
Fish moat not a want a need.
You know, you laugh at those YouTubers who are like, remember to subscribe, you know, whatever percentage are not subscribed or whatever. But look at the fucking results. I did it by accident, like almost towards the end of the video. And this is, like, that video got like 5,000 subs as opposed to my average, you know, my average like 1K a day. So I got like 5 times as many. Yeah, I mean, and I also got like a lot of comments that were like, oh my God, I totally didn't even realize I wasn't subscribed. Thanks for reminding me, or some shit like that, you know? I'm a what, man? Let me get up the presentation. And the sponsored. Because, yeah, today's presentation has a sponsor. But it's also just a banging presentation. Now you just have to bring that up, that it sometimes unsubscribes you. I had a theory with Marge. I was talking to Marge, and we were talking about how, like, there were so many women who commented who were like, I had to sub just to raise his ratio of women to men. Like, people like who were in that category saw the imbalance and felt the need to subscribe in order to undo that imbalance. Like, people just naturally want to balance things. So since the majority of YouTube viewers are children,
Poggers.
I figure I'm gonna say like, man, you know, I have no children viewers who are subscribed, and then boom, thousands of children subscribed. Beepo Sleepo, thank you for the sub. Carace, Debis and Travis. What's up? Sorry, I was in the middle of making a point. Is it true that fish species live on tea exists in the Boston Harbor? I don't know. You know what I learned today? You guys know the golden shiner? They live in the pine barrens, so pines make tannins. There's like an acid that goes in the water, so the water that drains from the pine barrens in New Jersey is tea colored. It's like a goldish color, and golden shiners live in there, and it's like a fucking flawless camouflage because the water's like the perfect gold that they are. I had my first fish class today. I had ichthyology today. It's pretty cool. Liking your professor so far? Yeah, today was awesome. We went out, we had like an hour lecture on like the species that we would encounter and like the Latin names and everything. We went out like catching with like nets and traps and everything, brought them back, and then did like counts, measurements, identifications. It's fun as hell. Saw some cool fish. Look in the fish discussion channel in the Discord. I posted an oyster toad fish and I think an orange filefish that we saw. But we saw like, I don't know, maybe like 40 different species. I have pictures. I just sent those two because those two are pretty unique and cool. Oh, we also saw a pipefish, which is related to the seahorse. And I will say, I'm not a seahorse fan, but pipefish are kind of cool. I mean, like, he has like the seahorse mouth, but it's like a long eel-like fish, and they have armor. Like, they're hard. Like, it feels like rigor mortis. Like, it feels like they're dead and their body has stiffened because they've got like armor. It's the first time I've ever felt a pipefish. I felt a pipefish today. I was impressed. Also, did you guys know, I don't know how I never knew this, I thought flounder and like other flatfish that like lay on the bottom have both eyes on the side of their head just were born with both eyes on the side of their head, right? Right? But actually, they're like born with a normal like eyes on both sides, and then as they're like growing up and maturing, one eye just fucking, and that's why it's in like a super weird, awkward position on one side of their head, because the eye just fucking migrates as they're growing up. It's crazy. Yeah, the eye goes burr. Thank you, Alaskan Pancakes. And then you can also classify flounder by left-eyed flounder or right-sided flounder and left-sided flounder. It's like depending on which side the eyes are on, the left or the right side of the fish, based on like dorsal ventral, you can classify them. Except there's some species that are like 50-50, could go either way, so it's very stupid. Yeah, the eye migrates does sound weird. Like, how does everything, I want to know more. How does everything stay intact? Like, how does an eyeball migrate across the front of the head and to the other side while keeping its functionality as an eyeball? I guess it's still like an embryo, so they don't really need to see yet. I don't know. What's your favorite shark? Probably the epaulet shark. Yeah, like the veins, everything that's connected to the eye that keeps it intact. How? Like, imagine trying to take any vital organ in your body and move it somewhere else. All of the wires and shit that would they just get pulled. The name of this song is Identity Lo-Fi, The Promised Neverland by Korochu. Moves very slowly and carefully, moving everything over a long period of time so it isn't disrupted. It's fair. And if you're still an embryo, I mean, everything's still growing, you know? So like if your eye moved a little bit and it like stretched like the veins that are reaching to it, like the blood vessels that are reaching to it, they could have time to grow, to adjust before it moves again. You know? Hi, Launch. What about the presentation? I'm enjoying talking to chat. I haven't talked about fish with chat in a while. It's been like 3 weeks. I haven't talked about fish since I moved into prison. Give me some time. If you guys run out of interesting things to say, then I'll move on to the presentation. What's the most annoying part of your job? People have an expectation or think that it's easier than it is, I think. When you're talking about like identifying diseases and parasites, you're talking about distinguishing between like thousands upon thousands of different diseases and parasites, all of which have the exact same symptoms. You can't just like look at a fish that just like has dropsy and just be like, oh yeah, of course, that is this bacteria. Like, no, that could be symptomatic of like 1,000 different things. And they're like, well, how can you not pinpoint it? Like, well, Joe Schmo. Move on, want to hear you roast them? I ain't roasting anything today. Today's presentation about the devilfish, bro. What year are you in right now? 2021. What's a future fish you would love to own? I don't know. It's a good question. I feel like there's a lot of fish that are unrealistic that I don't necessarily want to own fish. I just like, I would like to observe on a daily basis. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to have them in a tank. The only reason that I like having fish in a tank is because I get to see them every day. You know, they're just there. It's not so much like an ownership or caretaker thing. That's just like a side effect of it. So like, if I could like work a job where there was like, you know, something. Like, I don't want to own a coelacanth, but if I could like see a coelacanth every day that was like in an aquarium or something, I mean, I'm down. If you could, what fish would you like to see on a daily basis? I don't know, coelacanth. I really like coelacanth. We asked my fishery or my ichthyology professor today what his favorite fish was, and he said, real fish nerds don't have favorite fish. And I went, oh, because I made a top 10 favorite fish list. So I guess I'm not a real fish nerd. Fish roommate? No, my roommate does like biotech or something. Or biochem. I don't know. He's a dork. I say as I talk about fish to people on the internet. Yeah, no, coelacanth absolutely could not live in an aquarium that wasn't like custom made or something. You're in biotech? Rage. Where's your roommate? Not here. He goes home on the weekends. That's why I can do like more streams like this without having to worry about being interrupted generally on the weekends. Now you're clickbaiting me, Nat? Come on. Nat, you should name your video like Fish Biologist Reacts to something like that. But it has actually nothing to do with me. You have my full permission to clickbait me. Can you make a top 10 fish you could beat in a fight? I could beat every... Okay, no, that's not true. I couldn't beat every fish in a fight. Have you seen a Goliath grouper? Or like a Goliath tigerfish? Or like a beluga sturgeon? Oof. Oof. I could beat a Megalodon. Easy. I am terrified of Goliath tigerfish. There are no fish that I am scared of other than Goliath tigerfish. Did you say a sturtle fish? Is that the hybrid that they accidentally made between paddlefish and sturgeon? Isn't it? It's non-viable, right? It's a hybrid. I'm amazed that they can interbreed. Obviously not viably. If you guys don't know, the definition of a species is it has to have viable offspring, which means that even though two things can breed and create a child, does not mean that that child is a new species if it can't have kids of its own. Like blood parrot cichlids aren't a species, they're a hybridization. Thank you, God. MBJ. That thing that's like zebras and something else mixed is not one. Ligers, lion tigers, mules, which are donkeys and horses. None of those are technically species, they're hybridizations. Your subscriber badge keeps going on and off. Twitch chat's buggy, bro. Where did you get your jumper from? My jumper. Someone tell me what jumper means. Thank you, God MBJ. Sweater, hoodie. There's no hood. This is a sorority or frat sweatshirt. It's Soph's, not mine. I stole it. She was like, yeah, you can have this sweatshirt right here to take home with you. And she pointed at a different sweatshirt that was the same color. And I was like, okay, I'll grab it later. And then when I went to grab it later from her drawer, I grabbed this one instead. So I stole the wrong sweater, but very nice. I haven't been able to really wear it because we don't have air conditioning. I just have that one rotating fan, which even on Mach 3 does not do that much. That's why you're in jail. Yeah. Video on SeaWorld. I feel like that's oversaturated. There's no self-respecting human being who thinks SeaWorld is a good idea at this day and age. You have peanut butter in your cabinets? No, I don't. No, I don't. I have peanuts. You lie, there's a second fan? Ah, shit, my roommate left his fan. I thought he took that home. He didn't take it home with him. He has air conditioning at home, I guess. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna put it on the other dresser and point it straight at me. Zach, you need to make the bed. Okay, I'm gonna make the bed, and then can we get into the presentation? Will you guys shut up? Is that okay? Okay, great, cool. Ow, dude, I'm so sore. I had like a meeting or something every day this week. I had 3 days of volleyball, like 3 hours each night. Fuck. Oh yeah, I've had like 8 a.m.s every day for 5 days now. So I've gotten up at like 8 a.m. every single day this week. Plus, physically exhausted the fuck out of my body. I had a 7-hour fucking class today. It was fun though. You were promised a fish presentation? I'm working on it. Okay? Does the bed look nice? Is everyone happy? The bed looks very uncomfortable. Fine. Prison provides for us pretty well. Can I be honest? I stall for presentations so much because I'm so nervous. I don't know why. Like I prepared, I made the presentation, I researched the information, I even like practiced the presentations to myself. They never go how I practice. I always end up ad-libbing shit. But I'm always so nervous to do presentations. Inhale, exhale. Thank you. How's the music volume? Too loud? Too soft? Seaweed is the real good stuff. Dude, I ate a sea pickle today. There was just a random plant and my teacher was like, yeah, it's a sea pickle. You can eat it. And I was like, okay. It was like these little green... I don't know what to call it. Just like little green like bubbles. It just tasted like salty grass, but it was actually not bad. I ate a lot of it. I ate a lot of it. No, not the Minecraft sea pickle. It's, here. See if I can find it. What in the fuck? Okay, there's apparently an animal called a sea pickle. Yeah, this. There, hold on. This. Called a sea pickle. It's just like little lobed things. And you can like bite off each little lobe. Yeah, each little one of these is like a capsule, like a bean. And it has like salt water in it. So it's like a salty snack. Pretty good. Alright. Separate the ad script. Fuck! Okay. I'm sticking to the ad script this time. I'm sticking to the ad script. Last time I wrote a script for the ad and it was like 40 seconds max, and then I talked for like 3 minutes just ad-libbing because I got nervous. Let me remember what's on this presentation again. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. We're good. Okay. Take a walk, man. What a walk, man. All right. So today we get to talk about the devilfish. If you guys don't know what the devilfish is, we're gonna learn about it a little bit. A little bit creepy, a little bit scary. It's like kind of a cool tale and mythology. And after coming across it and like learning about it, I've sort of come to the conclusion that it may not be totally mythological. So unlike my normal videos where I spend time trying to prove that things that people think are real aren't, I think actually there's legitimate explanations for this. Now, obviously not to like the extreme here, but yeah, this could have been a Halloween special, you're right. So the first thing is, what the fuck is the devilfish? Basically, in Taiwanese, it's also called the human-faced fish. It is a Taiwanese urban legend about a fish which has a human, not always described as a human face, but just another face coming out of the side of its body. And the original story basically involves a bunch of people, like someone catches this fish, serves it for dinner. Someone comes over, like a witch doctor comes over and is like, yo, you should not eat this because there's a face on the side of that fish. And everyone's like, okay, fine. And so he like puts it away or whatever to study, and his daughter cooks it for dinner. And then she becomes an immortal like demon and lives for 800 years. So basically this insane Taiwanese legend about the devilfish. And I know you're thinking, like, how the fuck are you basing this in realism now? But there's actually some interesting things that I think should be said. So first of all, the main way that I wanted to learn about this, because I heard about this film in high school, right? Or I heard about this Taiwanese legend in high school, is there is this horror film, which basically is just like an enactment of the Taiwanese legend. It's based on it. And because all of the information online that I can like find is in Taiwanese, I had a tough time doing research, you know? It's hard to do research on like a Taiwanese urban legend because it's not always written down, you know? Urban legends, mythology are the kind of things that like you tell to like your kids and such. It's not the kind of thing that you always write down. And so it's pretty hard to find things that aren't in Taiwanese. But this one thing that I did find is this horror film. It's part of a series called The Tagalong, called The Devilfish. And it's just like a specific episode of a movie series where they just cover like basically Asian folklore and legends. And I've been wanting to watch this now for a little while because I wanted to use it as a basis for research for the video. And I heard about this urban legend in high school, but it's only available on Netflix if you're from South Korea. So like the only place that I could find to watch this movie is Netflix, but only if you're from South Korea. And if you guys didn't know, I'm from the United States. So that presents a little bit of a problem. Luckily for me, NordVPN reached out. So they gave me, as well as you guys, the opportunity to use their VPN service. They basically like let me try the service, use the VPN, and I just set my location to South Korea and then logged on to Netflix and it was just there. So let me show you real quick because it's insane. I didn't think it was actually just like a thing you could do. I thought Netflix would be smarter than this. Turns out they're not that smart. Do you guys know? Netflix, not that smart. Netflix is R3 head. Sorry, I'm waiting for the thing to load. So I literally just... I want to make sure it isn't going to show my... Yeah. So I literally just open the VPN and then I scroll on the side and click on, I'm not going to click on it because it's going to connect me to it and end stream, but I just click on South Korea and it's just like, oh, okay, you're in South Korea now. And then I open Netflix and it's like, oh, hello, welcome to South Korean Netflix. It just believes me. I think that's crazy. Why doesn't it remember? But anyways, it just believes me. And so then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, welcome back, person who's only ever watched shows from America. Congratulations on being from South Korea now. And so I was able to actually watch the film and do ad research. So you can watch like cool foreign films like this, use it for a bunch of other stuff. They gave me a code, which is AVNJ. It's no risk, 30 days money back guarantee. I'm not just using it for fish. I actually sat down with my roommate yesterday because he was like, no way, you got a VPN? And I was like, yeah, I got like a VPN with like a sponsorship deal and everything. And he's like, oh my God, bring up Japan. So we went on Netflix Japan and he just like went on his phone and looked up like every good anime that has ever existed. and just made me a list of like 100 animes that I have to watch. So I now have to watch like 100 different shows that my roommate has created this giant list for me that I can watch now because I have the VPN for Netflix Japan. So I'm going to be binging all of those. Also, I play Smash. If you guys don't know, I play Smash Melee, and for some reason, my school's internet blocks person-to-person connections, so you like can't play Smash Melee online on like the school internet unless you use a VPN. And NordVPN's fast enough, like the speeds are actually good enough that I can just straight up play Melee online using the VPN. So it's actually pretty sick. So I've just already been using it for a bunch of things. Pretty dope. It's incredibly useful. It's a good deal. And they also supported me. The entire reason that this video exists and the reason that I was able to do this research and come to this conclusion that I have is because of the ability to watch this movie, which was of course given by NordVPN. So check them out, check the code out. Pretty dope. So lots of folklore, such as the human-faced fish, is based in myth. You know, a lot of people like look at folklore and say myth, but also there's sometimes where things that are based in mythology are based in real life. Things that are set in mythology are based in real life. Like for a long time, or just like a recent thing that I've heard is that the Loch Ness Monster, like a lot of the pictures of the Loch Ness Monster were actually just like a whale sticking his penis out of the water. So it's like, there's all sorts of real explanations, because if you think about it, it makes more sense that like someone saw something, right? Like people didn't just come home and just make stuff up. Like no one just was like at the lake one day and they're like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say that I saw a monster in the lake, you know? It wouldn't make as much sense. So they tend to be based on something. This is like a carp. I think this video went viral a while ago. There's like a whole video and a bunch of pictures of it, and it's a carp, and like the patterning on the top of the carp just looks like a dude's face. And I'm not saying this is the explanation, by the way. I have a much better explanation than this for the fish with the second face. But I just wanted to point out that oftentimes mythology is based in real life, because it is. It just makes more sense. Unless you're like on drugs, it makes more sense that you would see something that you misinterpret than that you would, make up as a whole. So the real explanation, this is now my theories. We're past the Taiwanese legend here. This is what I actually think happened, and that is a little condition called bicephaly. So if you guys haven't heard bicephaly, it's pretty simple. You can see it here. It's basically these two-headed animals. It's really common in reptiles, but it exists in basically everything. What it is, it's like how conjoined twins happen. Bicephaly, it's like the embryo, when the embryo is splitting, it doesn't split completely, and in humans and like other animals that leads to like conjoined twins where they're like connected by a specific organ or something like that. But bicephaly specifically, it happens where you have basically two embryos that, like an embryo that should separate into twins, which instead grows together, and the heads are separate. So you have like two separate thinking entities attached to the exact same body. And it's not like a new thing. I was talking to someone about bicephaly and they were like, oh yeah, that's like a human pollution thing. Like we polluted the water and that caused it. And it's like, okay, maybe, yeah, pollution could make this more common, could cause embryos to not split properly. But there's fossils of two-headed embryos as far back as 150 million years ago. So this is not just a human thing. This is a thing that occurs naturally in nature when things fuck up. Though pollution obviously always, exacerbates existing issues. It's most common in reptiles, potentially because they reproduce more, or because they're more exposed to their environment. Reptiles interact with their environment via their skin a lot more. If you think about like humans, if you like pour water or vinegar on your skin, vinegar is not getting in your bloodstream. Reptiles aren't exactly like that. I mean, it's not straight to the bloodstream, but they are absorbing the things around them more. So if you have a more polluted environment, it kind of makes sense that your embryos could get more fucked up if you are a reptile. So my theory is actually viable because there are multiple examples of bicephaly in fishes. There are two-headed, or if you want to call it two-faced fishes, observed multiple times. This is not necessarily an uncommon thing, though it's most common in reptiles. It definitely exists in fish, right? So What I'm saying is, you could see someone seeing this and calling it the two-faced fish, right? You could see someone seeing something like this for like a common fish and calling it the two-faced fish, and suddenly you've born an urban legend where there's a second fish coming out, a second face coming out of the side of another fish. And I think that might actually be a reasonable explanation for this myth. And a particularly terrifying example I just wanted to show you. Sheep's head, which I actually found some sheep's head during class today, 2 sheep's head. This is a sheep's head from the side, right? This is a sheep's head from the front with their horrible fucked up teeth. And just as an example, I would like to show you via my own amazing Photoshop skills what would happen if a sheep's head had bicephaly, and that is the sheep's head. And I would like you to look at this and tell me that that is not a devilfish. So I think it's pretty reasonable that someone saw some shit like this and went, holy fuck, there is a demon in that. Because there is no way I would ever find that on the shore and go, that's not a demon. That's 100% a demon. So obviously the whole like demonic thing is exaggerated, but I think it makes perfect sense. I think it's very likely that like a fisherman found a fish with bicephaly. There's like a second head, a second face, tells someone about it, and they're like, oh dude, you know, then someone else takes it too far, but it is based in reality. At least I want to make the argument that it is based in reality, and also that the movie was pretty good. Movie was actually pretty good. I'm actually glad, in addition to just doing research, it was actually cool, and VPN helped a lot, and I've just been using it for a bunch of shit. It's just a cool thing to have. I think that's it. Yeah, that is it. That is the sheep's head. Throw it back to the ocean, kill it with fire. It's a demon, you can't kill it with fire. Though I will say, if the folklore, you know, goes as far as, if you don't believe the whole demonic part of the folklore, the fact that they ate this is insane. The fact that someone looked at this and went, yeah, this is probably healthy to eat. I mean, like, I know sheep's head are good eating, but goddamn. Yeah, I would get holy water and I'm not even religious. I'd get holy water and throw it back in. You'd eat it? Shut up, Beepo Sleepo. Don't eat it. Yeah, so basically this presentation, you thought it was about a devil fish, a fish that was the devil, but no, it was about sheep's head with bicephaly. Put it in an aquarium of holy water. It's a fire idea. Eat equals 800 years. That's what the legend says. Yeah, so it wasn't even really demonic. In the movie, it's demonic, but I think the original like Taiwanese folklore involves like the woman eats it and just like lives forever. It has like a name. It's like Ninjo or something like that, or Ningzhou. Set it as your wallpaper? Abso-fucking-lutely not. I won't. All right, should we react to videos? What do you guys think? All right, time to search stream ideas for good videos. What do we got? Not watching WhatsApp. Prehistoric creatures caught on camera from the richest. How have we not watched this? We have watched this, right? I don't remember. Okay, maybe we haven't watched that. Oh wait, prehistoric creatures. You know what? I'm curious. Fuck it. I don't care. Deadliest river monsters of the Amazon. Okay. Sure. Why is there a Pacu? God damn it. Okay. Jesus Christ, how many times am I going to see these videos? 11 giant creatures caught on tape. That looks promising. It's chills again. Yes, chills. All right, that's enough for today. I had a long day. I'm going to just do 3 video reacts today. All right. You guys ready? All right, this is prehistoric creatures caught on camera, and it starts with what I can only imagine is a wolf of some prehistoric sort. Now, this one's not chills. The first one's not chills. This is the richest. I don't even remember what the richest sounds like, but I feel like, did the richest make that original one that we watched? What did we originally watch? It was like top 10s or something. It was like the channel that made that Megalodon video. All right. Damn, okay.
the world would be a very different place if
kinda
we could walk
slaps.
with dinosaurs. And we're not talking about Jurassic Park creations, but real prehistoric creatures. Too bad they're long gone. Or are they? Some people believe that beasts like the Megalodon, Saber-Toothed Tiger, and even the Loch Ness Monster are really out there. And they've
Okay, Loch Ness Monster, Megalodon, I've heard. Are there people who actually believe that the Saber-Toothed Tiger is still out there? That's not real, right? There's not people who actually think that there's a Saber-Toothed Tiger, right? Just so we're clear, that he just threw that in there. You know, that was like a compliment sandwich where you like compliment someone, then insult them, then compliment them again. You know, he said something that people actually think, something people don't, and then something people actually think, so you ignore the one in the middle. Just so
been
we're
on
clear.
our planet for millions of years. While they may no longer rule the world, these prehistoric animals lurk in the most remote corners of the planet.
Do
But
they?
just how convincing is the evidence that these legendary creatures are still out there today?
Not that
The
convincing.
Megalodon was the world's largest shark. It roamed our oceans
Okay.
from around 28 million
Had to
years ago
expect
until
it.
it disappeared about 1.6 million years ago. Some
Or
of the
did
teeth
it?
discovered from this giant beast have been over 17 centimeters or 7 inches long. And the Megalodon's body could have been up to 54 feet or 16.5 meters long. Around 3 times the size of a great white. A lot of footage of a potential Megalodon has been proven false, but there have been numerous accounts of giant sharks up to 60 feet long.
Cape Town sighting. Mockumentary. Boom.
Been proven false, but there have been
Basking
numerous
shark.
accounts of giant sharks up to 60 feet long, rocking fishing boats and disappearing
That's a
into the
movie.
deep. In 1875, 2 Megalodon teeth that were only 10 to 15,000 years old were discovered during
Trawling by the HMS Challenger. Poorly dated teeth.
a deep-sea expedition by the HMS Challenger. And in 1918, an Australian naturalist named David Steed kept a record of fishermen in his village who were terrified of a giant pure white shark. More recently, fishermen in the Sea of Cortez claim to have spotted a huge black shark under their boats, and they're now calling the elusive creature the Black Demon. Is it possible that the Megalodon exists in an unexplored area of the ocean, like
Nope.
the Marianas Trench?
Nope.
Without proof, it's anybody's guess. But based on all these
It's
accounts,
not anybody's guess. No, it doesn't. It obviously does not.
there's definitely a giant shark out there somewhere. And
No,
it
there's-
could
well,
be a Megalodon.
okay.
Or perhaps something much worse. A
There's like whale sharks and basking sharks. That's about it.
plesiosaur is a marine reptile that existed about 65.5
Oh
million
boy,
years ago.
the dinosaur
With a
nerds are
long
gonna get
body and
angry.
neck and paddle-like limbs. The plesiosaurs are often thought to still be around today in the form of the Loch Ness Monster.
Are they
That's
often
right.
thought
Good
that?
old Nessie isn't just any legendary sea monster. If she exists, she's probably a prehistoric plesiosaur. The famous surgeon's photograph of the elusive sea
Yeah, that's the one. This is what everyone was saying is a whale penis. It's a whale just going, hey, look at me. You know? And honestly, considering how small like the scale looks, I could see it.
creature was actually staged, but there are other sightings of the creature that suggest that Nessie might not be a myth after all. The first written account appears in a biography of Saint Columba from 565 CE, which claims that he saw a giant beast with flippers. But some possible proof was found in April of 1977, when a Japanese boat snagged a large carcass off the coast of New Zealand. The creature was about 33 feet or 10 meters long
It's like
and
an
weighed
oarfish.
4,000 pounds.
That's an
That's
oarfish.
1,814 kilograms.
Literally
But
an
because
oarfish.
the carcass smelled so bad and was taking up too much space, the fishermen had to drop it back into the ocean. Proving that Nessie is real has become such an obsession that a £1 million reward, around $1,230,000 US, for proof of the sea monster's existence was offered in 2007 during the Rock Ness Festival. None have turned up yet, but scientists are still using sonar to try and find Nessie's secret hiding place. The Congo has their own myths of a legendary monster. It's called the Mokele Mbembe, and it's a large reptile-like creature with a long neck and tail. It's said to roar aggressively if approached by humans. Some even say it has a single horn which it uses to kill elephants. Though some of these tales seem exaggerated, there is some evidence
Oh,
that
do
suggests
some of them seem exaggerated? If he thinks that this is exaggerated, but the Megalodon and the Loch Ness Monster were, you know, regular level, then this must be insanely exaggerated.
the monster could be a living sauropod, a family of dinosaurs that included the
He said it had teeth or a horn that attacked people. You know, sauropods are vegetarians, right? Like hardcore.
and Diplodocus. The last of these went extinct 65 million years ago, but tales around the Congo suggest that this dinosaur still lives deep within its forests. Some of the most compelling evidence is the large three-clawed footprint recorded by a French missionary in 1776. Since then, a number of others have recorded similar footprints, but none have any idea which living animals they could belong to. This mysterious beast has plenty of places to hide. The Congolese government says that about 80% of its 66,000 square kilometers of forest is uncharted.
A single horn that it uses to kill elephants. You sure it ain't a rhino? Interesting point you make there.
The Mokele Mbembe could be like the Congolese version of the okapi, which was thought to be completely extinct before it was found alive in 1901. The Saber-Toothed Tiger is more than just a relic of the Ice Age. In fact, the best evidence that the Saber-Toothed Tiger could still be alive is that scientists have already been proven wrong about when it went extinct.
God damn it.
Experts once claimed that the saber-tooth disappeared more than 200,000 years ago. But in the early 2000s, a jawbone was found on the bottom of the North Sea that was only 28,000 years old. It might seem like a while ago, but 28,000 years totally changes what scientists thought about the big cat. It also suggests that they could still be wrong. Sightings of large cats all over the world hint at the saber-tooth or a close relative making their elusive home in the uncharted parts of our planet. Considering that saber-tooths were up to 2.5 meters or almost 8 feet in length and weighed up to 661 pounds or close to 300 kilograms, modern humans would not want to tangle with these beasts. But in all likelihood, humans migrating out of Africa were what caused the saber-tooth to reach, or almost reach, extinction. Dire wolves aren't just fantasy creatures from Game of Thrones. They were real wolves that existed from about 125,000 to 10,000 years ago.
There's some pretty big wolves now, but not dire wolf level.
Bolivia. They were bigger than normal gray wolves at about 130 pounds or 59 kilograms and 6 feet long, about 1.8 meters. They also had bigger heads, jaws, and teeth. They could take down bison.
I like understand that like with the ocean, when you're talking about like undiscovered area, it's easy to believe that there are things in that undiscovered area that you don't know about. Like I could see how a person would believe that, right? But like on land, like a saber-toothed tiger, really? Like a wolf? Like really? Why? It's just like spin a wheel of extinct animals and just say that that one must be alive, and you could come up with some kind of evidence.
And even baby mammoths. But there have been many recent sightings of strange wolves, leading many to believe that dire wolves are still out there. A bizarre wolf was captured in Montana, and many believed that it couldn't be a normal gray wolf, until DNA testing said that it probably was. But another sighting in America of a very large wolf attacking a dog has no solid explanation. Since the wolves usually show up when least expected, it's hard for scientists to study them and test their DNA. If the dire wolf really is extinct, then there's a chance that a similar species will be recreated.
It was like a beagle-level dog.
In southern Oregon, a breeder has spent 30 years creating a new sort of wolf-like dog called the American Alsatian. With the help of science, who knows what other mysterious species can be brought back from extinction? In the floodplain of the Willamette Valley near Portland, Oregon, a large bone was found and identified as the leg bone of an elk. After a little more examination, it turned out to be the upper wing bone of a giant bird. The size of the bone meant that the bird's wingspan had to be over 12 feet or 3.7 meters. The bones were later confirmed to be those of a teratorn. These large birds could weigh over 170 pounds or 77 kilograms. A similar teratorn found in Argentina has the largest wingspan of any bird at over 24 feet. That's 7.3 meters. It might have gone extinct 10.
Prehistoric creatures caught on camera. First of all, like none of these have been caught on camera, and he's just talking about an extinct bird now. These videos really fall apart as they go on. Like they start off and it's like, okay, yeah, fine, sure. You know, people come up with that evidence and there's like fake shit on the internet. And then they just start listing things that aren't even remotely related to the video.
10,000 years ago. But sightings of giant birds suggest that the teratorn might...
What do you mean sightings of giant birds?
Extinct 10,000 years ago. But sightings of giant birds...
Bro, that's a normal bird. How are you going to use the sky as scale? Remember when I made that whole point about how you can't use water as scale for animals because it doesn't work like that? You can't use the sky for scale either. oh, look at those clouds. Yeah, the bird must be huge. It's not like the bird is right next to the camera and the clouds are very far away. That bird must be at least, 500 feet long. Bro, he's half the size of the cloud. Whoa, bro, that's a big bird.
Birds suggest that the Teratorn might still be around. American Indian lore is filled with stories of monster birds that carry away human victims. They often
How is it
call them
flying? What is the
Indian lore
anatomy
is
of
filled
that?
with stories of monster birds
How are you propelling yourself like that?
that carry away human
There's
victims.
no shot.
They often called them Thunderbirds because their flapping wings made a sound like rolling thunder.
He's
But
flying
in
so
modern
slow.
times, people have still seen giant birds.
To be that stable and to fly that slow, you need to flap your wings extremely fast. There's a reason that hummingbirds have crazy ass wings. It's because that's the only way you can get that kind of control. Also, seriously?
Birds with wingspans of 20 to 40 feet. No one knows where the Teratornis could be hiding, but the idea of a prehistoric bird that carries off human victims makes us hope that we'll never find out. The Megatherium was an elephant-sized ground
No one believes the Megatherium is alive. Who caught a Megatherium on camera?
Right. It was the second largest land mammal.
Who
right
caught a
behind the woolly
Megatherium
mammoth,
on camera?
And could weigh 4 tons and can be almost 13 feet or 4 meters tall while standing on its hind legs. Oh, and it still might be out there today.
Where?
These giant ground sloths were thought to have survived in more remote areas for at least another 5,000 years after the mammoths went extinct. Those who live in the Amazon rainforest have long passed down stories of a dangerous beast with matted fur and large, sharp claws.
He just said it was in the sloth family. What kind of dangerous beast sleeps 21 hours a day?
There are even stories of it having a giant second mouth on its stomach. If the giant sloth is alive, it's no wonder those who live in the Amazon have passed down stories to warn others to keep their eyes out for this legendary beast. This lizard is the largest lizard to have ever existed. It's called Megalania, and it lived about 2 million years ago in Australia and went extinct nearly 23,000 years ago. The largest Megalania was likely over 35 feet or 10.6 meters long and weighed
dope.
up to 8,300 pounds.
I didn't even know
That's
this.
3,665
Fuck.
kilograms. They had venomous glands in their mouths and were thought to be both land and water animals, making them terrifying predators. Tales of a living Megalania have been passed down in Australian Aboriginal culture.
That is the worst, movie. It's not even CGI. I don't even know what to call it. Movie magic I've ever seen. They just green screened an iguana.
Predators. Tales of a living Megalania have been passed down in Australian Aboriginal culture. In 1890, there were sightings recorded of a large reptile that terrorized the town of Euroa, Australia by carrying away livestock. Another account came from a French priest traveling New Guinea in the 1960s who saw a giant lizard. Very old lizards like the Komodo dragon do exist, so it's entirely possible that Megalania are also lurking somewhere out there. But how could a creature this large stay hidden? No one knows, but maybe it's best if the Megalania continues to keep to itself. The Amazon is home to many beasts like giant snakes that could swallow you whole. But the biggest snake ever isn't an
Titanoboa.
Amazonian anaconda. It's actually the appropriately named Titanoboa. The Titanoboa could be more than 40 feet or 12 meters long and weigh more than a ton. Just the thickness of the snake could be more than half a human's height. This giant serpent looked like a boa constrictor, but behaved like an aquatic anaconda, which means it could easily be going unnoticed in rivers all around the world. But some people have noticed giant snakes, and they could be the last few Titanoboas left on Earth. There's a famous snake in Maine called Wessie. When she was first spotted, she was said to be as large as a truck. A few days after the
That is bigger than a truck. First of all, it's clearly photoshopped. It's just that obvious mask blend where you just slightly color correct the one layer to blend it into the other. I can literally show, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you how we're gonna make one. All right, choose a body of water. Someone choose a lake or an ocean or something, okay? The Nile River. Okay. And then we're just going to look up crab transparent background. All right, let's get a crab. All right. Nile River. Perfect. Yep, this is good. This is good. And we're gonna make a Crabzilla spotting in the Nile River. You guys ready? All right. So we're gonna go ahead and add a layer. We're gonna add the crab. Okay. Go ahead and rotate him here. Make him the size of an entire city. And then we're gonna go to this filter, blend mode. Not luminosity. Is it luminosity? Color? No. No. Saturation? No. Hue? I don't remember. Maybe it's luminosity. Something like that. Soft light. And boom! We have created a sighting of Crabzilla in the Nile River. Now post it to the internet and boom, Crabzilla's real. I could do that in about 10 seconds. I could pump these out at a rate of 1 Crabzilla sighting every 10 seconds. Oh my god, Crabzilla. Wow, he's just lurking in the waters in the Nile River. Crazy. Point being, images like this are stupid and so easy to fake.
The initial sighting, a police officer claimed to have also seen the elusive snake and even found a giant snake skin near the sightings. Meanwhile, in Russia, a giant snake was spotted crawling across a roof and then never seen again. Experts don't think it's possible for a snake to get this big in today's climate. Does that mean it has to be a prehistoric snake that's not only huge, but also ancient?
It isn't possible for a snake to get huge in this climate, so it must be a prehistoric snake. Take me through that thought process. Someone says it can't, a huge snake cannot live in this climate. Well, then it must be an old snake. No, sir. A huge snake just, it couldn't live. It doesn't matter when it's from. Oh, so it's an ancient snake. No, sir. Sir, a huge snake cannot live in this climate.
One of the most mysterious prehistoric creatures is the Gigantopithecus, a distant relative to the orangutan.
Okay.
They stood at a whopping 10 feet or 3 meters tall and weighed up to 595 pounds. That's 270 kilograms. Scientists think that as its habitat started to shrink 100,000 years ago, the giant ape was unable to survive. But there's another theory. The Gigantopithecus is responsible for the legend of Bigfoot. And it's still out there, keeping to itself in forests around the world. Researchers in 2013 claimed to have filmed a few short clips of Bigfoot, and even said that they had DNA to study proof. But other than a lot of grainy videos, many of which have been
Chewbacca,
debunked,
bro.
There's not a lot to go on about Bigfoot. If Bigfoot really is out there, and he's a Gigantopithecus, he could be the most mysterious and elusive creature to have ever existed. This is the gharial, a species of crocodile characterized by its weird long snout. They grow up to about 19 feet or 6 meters long and weigh up to 352 pounds, about 160 kilograms, and can usually be found in sandbanks along rivers. But what's so interesting about the gharial is how few people know they exist and how old this strange species is. About 40 million years ago, gharials diverged from the usual crocodilians. The exact species we see today is about 4,000 years old. But despite being so old, gharials are currently in danger of going extinct due to overfishing and habitat.
What happened? I feel like that transition was so not smooth. The music just randomly changed and all of a sudden he's talking about whatever the fuck this thing is. This is like the only real alive animal. And then it's also like prehistoric creatures caught on camera. I love when you take a real existing animal and say it's caught on camera. Like if I go in my backyard and like take a picture of just a regular soldier ant and I'm like, soldier ant, ancient, caught on camera. I mean, it's like, okay, I guess technically, but like, why? It did go from Bigfoot to a real living crocodile or alligator. 15 deadliest river monsters of the Amazon. Okay. I don't like that there's a Pacu in frame. Is this really what we're starting with?
The waters of our world are full of all manner of terrifying creatures, and none more so than rivers. And of all the rivers in the world, none are more jam-packed than those of the Amazon. These are the deadliest river monsters of the Amazon.
I am excited. Oh, this is that one channel with the weird
Number
animations.
15. Green Anaconda. You knew it was coming. What kind of list makers would we be if the Amazon's
Honestly,
most famous
fair
inhabitant
enough.
wasn't on our list? The Green Anaconda is a multi-record-breaking predator, recognized as the world's heaviest snake and one of the longest snakes in the world. It's also the star of many, many B-movies of questionable quality. The Green Anaconda is native to South America, but is most known for its home in the Amazon River. As a non-venomous snake, it kills its prey not by biting, but by constricting. As its slender, scaly body wraps around yours, it tightens until you either suffocate or just die of crushed organs.
Very cute.
Either way, it's not going to be a pleasant end for you. These animals aren't even picky about what they eat, dining on everything from fish to jaguars, and even the notoriously terrifying caimans. The Green Anaconda is an animal that has absolutely earned its reputation as one of the most fearsome and deadliest animals in the Amazon River.
One of the most fearsome
Green
and deadly
Anaconda is an
animals. And this lady's just got this creepy ass movie smile, and he's like, "Hi, I like cuddling."
Animal that has absolutely earned its reputation as one of the most fearsome and deadliest animals in the Amazon River. Just about every animal that encounters it ends up dead and digested. I don't know how much more evidence you need. I can't do the math, but I think it all adds up pretty obviously here. Like this video, smash the subscribe button, and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your face when you're sleeping.
PogChamp. Thank God.
Number 14. Vampire Fish. Legend tells, at one time in his life, Dracula attempted to go vegan. That didn't take, so he instead switched to a pescatarian lifestyle. That didn't really work either, but
What is he talking about? Is there really a legend that Dracula went vegan? What are you saying? What?
fish he tried to eat apparently survived and became a vampire. I can't prove it, but that totally definitely happened.
And those teeth to slot into those cavities.
The Payara fish is also known as the vampire fish, thanks to its unique and, toothy appearance. This unique fish's most noticeable feature is those two long fangs, typically used to impale their chosen prey, but they're also built for power and speed, with notoriously aggressive behavior toward their unfortunate victims, be it small fish or the biggest water-dwelling animals. And being solitary animals, they're not even friendly to other animals. In fact, if they're held in captivity with other fish, they'll kill them just about all of the time. Dracula would be proud. Luckily for us, the vampire fish is not out looking for blood or seeking to build an army of creatures of the night. Instead, they're just looking to terrify and kill any species it happens to stumble across. And Dracula would approve of that, wouldn't he? Number 13.
Deadliest river monsters of the Amazon. Luckily, this fish has no interaction with humans. But it's deadly though, for sure.
Giant otter. Bet you never expected an otter to be lurking in the murky waters of the Amazon River, huh? The giant otter is one of the world's longest river otters, hence the name. It's also an apex predator in this unique ecosystem, so basically it's not a cuddly little guy. On average, the giant otter can measure anywhere between 3.25 and 4.5 feet long and weigh between 49 and 71 pounds. Naturally, they require a massive amount of food, eating somewhere between 6 and 9 pounds every day. While they mostly tend to eat fish, the giant otter is also known to prey on small anacondas, caimans, crustaceans, and a whole host of other sea creatures.
Great. So otters aren't dangerous. Cool.
Basically, they'll eat just about anything they can get their hands on, making them one of the deadliest animals lurking in the dark, muddy waters of the Amazon. Chances are you didn't expect the giant otter to even live in the Amazon, let alone be one of the most dangerous predators. But if you need to eat 9 pounds of food every single day, I guess it's inevitable that you'll become a force to be.
It eat a lot. It must be deadly. It have big teeth. It must be deadly. I love the very, 4-year-old child processing reasoning that has been created for this. It's literally like a small child's thought process.
Be reckoned with, right? Number 12, bull shark. The more you hear
Okay.
about the Amazon, the more horrifying it sounds, right? Yes, believe it or not, the Amazon River has sharks, and one of the most aggressive sharks in the world too. What a fun time for all those clueless Amazonian animals. Well, the bull shark may look a little unimpressive.
I am confused because, there were some legit ones. Like the Green Anaconda, yeah, sure, deadly river monster. The bull shark, sure, deadly river monster. The giant otter, really?
And generic compared to some other species, it's most definitely one of the deadlier sharks in the world. In fact, they're known to swim thousands of miles upriver just for the chance of getting a nice bite to eat.
They can glide along with just the lazy movement of their tail.
And I'm sure everybody knows, sharks don't just eat fish. They're also known to eat animals as big as, hippos? Maybe that's not so common in the Amazon, but if these animals can eat hippos, it stands to reason that they can eat pretty much anything they want. The bull shark is really not an animal to underestimate, with the strongest bite of any shark in the world, and a willingness to eat everything from fish to other bull sharks. There's absolutely no end to the capabilities of this predator. If you weren't scared of the Amazon before, this will probably do the trick. Number 11, River Stingrays.
What?
By now, you've probably figured out there are a lot of fearsome animals in the Amazon. So what's one more?
Freshwater
stingrays
stingray.
are apparently so frightening that they're one of the most feared animals in all of South America.
What?
The whole continent. Like most stingrays, the Amazonian species is most known for its barb-tipped stinger, capable of ripping through flesh in a matter of seconds. But as if having your skin sliced isn't bad enough, these predators also release a whole lot of deadly venom. So in a way, it's like getting killed.
I guess that's
twice.
deadly.
What a treat.
I guess
for
you can technically be deadly without actually having to, kill things very often. It does sound like he's doing it on the fly. It sounds like he Googled deadly monsters Amazon River and is just reading through a page and just sort of making shit up as he goes that's on that page.
For their unsuspecting prey. Thankfully for humans, stingrays only tend to eat crustaceans and small invertebrates, though that doesn't mean they won't attack or injure humans. If you're
It's like a
foolish enough
pancake.
to climb in the river and provoke them, you shouldn't be surprised if they decide to attack. The Amazon River freshwater stingray is feared all over South America, and clearly that fear is justified. These animals have a gift for killing, and you can't take that away from them because they will kill you. Probably twice, and I didn't even think that was possible. Number 10, Giant Leech. You don't go
What?
to the Amazon expecting to see some curious, small little animals. This is a river notorious for having some of the largest and most horrifying predators in the world, and it more than lives up to its reputation with the giant leech. The Amazon giant leech is one of the world's largest, capable of growing up to 18 inches. They're also capable of living up to 20 years, which is a thought that will almost definitely keep you awake. Of course, this leech is a blood feeder,
Poggers.
which makes sense, given its incredibly large teeth. Once it inserts its proboscis
What's up,
into its
Quetzalcoatl?
chosen host, the leech begins sucking out the blood before falling off. Even saying it makes your arms go a little weak, right?
Before falling off. They fill up and then fall off. Even if you never noticed it was there and never did anything about it, it would just fill up and fall off. How is this the deadliest river monster?
Even the animal's discovery in the 1970s came as something of a surprise to scientists, who long believed the species was extinct. Well, they used the word believed, but I think we all know what they really mean. Hoped. The giant Amazon leech is the kind of nightmare you expect to see in creature features, but I'm sorry to say that this thing is very, very real and very deadly. You don't want to be on the receiving end of this guy. You'll have no blood left.
Those aren't
Very
lamp.
deadly.
Those
You don't want to be on the receiving end
are
of
those
this
leeches?
guy. You'll have very, very real and very
Leeches
deadly.
are ridged,
You don't want
right?
to be on the receiving
Those look like lampreys, not leeches, or hagfish.
end of this guy. You'll have no
Yeah, those aren't even leeches. Okay, cool.
blood left. Number 9. Red-bellied piranhas. Anybody with
Nope.
half a brain knows that any kind of piranha is going to be deadly. But the red-bellied piranha is a whole other level of terror. Well, actually that depends on who you ask, but I think even the most rational person will tell you to be careful. The red
Hi, it's me, the rational person who also studies fish. Don't be afraid of piranhas, dude. I'm not gonna play the Jeremy Wade clip again, but you know what's going on.
bellied piranha is in many of South America's lakes and rivers, but they're particularly notorious in the Amazon.
We've had
These
this
animals are known
discussion.
to hunt in schools.
Listen, class, we've already talked about this, okay? I shouldn't need to repeat myself. You guys need to be taking notes, okay?
Schools of over 100 piranhas, which is pretty frightening just in itself. Generally, these fish tend to eat other fish or animals like shrimp, worms, or mollusks, but it's not unheard of for them to pursue larger prey. Given that they can grow up to 14 inches long, many locals will tell you stories of human swimmers that got chewed up by a school of hungry piranha. Modern scientists like to downplay the piranha's reputation, claiming that the stories of humans being eaten by piranhas are mostly unverified. But mostly does not mean entirely, and these animals are clearly very deadly. Let this be a lesson to all of you Amazonian swimmers. You're on the menu. Number 8.
Let this be a lesson to all of you Amazonian swimmers. What does he think the overlap is between people who watch his videos and people who swim in the Amazon? And also calling them prey of a piranha is very funny.
Pacu.
No! Really? Dude, Pacu are so cute and dumb and innocent. I hate when people demonize things just because they're big and sometimes have teeth.
Remember when people were freaked out about Sonic the Hedgehog having human teeth? Well, if you're one of those people, you're not gonna like this. The Pacu is a piranha-like fish
Look at how
that has
stupid and
freakishly
slow they are.
human-like teeth. It's, for lack of a better word, weird.
Look at that! That's what you're afraid
On
of?
paper, the Pacu
Dude, that thing couldn't fit my finger in its mouth, let alone anything else on my body.
is nothing to be feared. Sure, it's related to the piranha, but this fish is listed as an omnivore.
He's eating fucking grapes! Deadliest river monsters of the Amazon! As he chews on some grapes.
Meaning it's perfectly happy to eat plants. They tend to spend their time chewing on nuts and small animals.
Pacu Nat.
So there's nothing to be afraid of, right? Wrong. In some areas of the world, these fish are known as ball cutters due to their habit of mistaking men's genitals for nuts. Yeah, some unfortunate.
Okay, don't go freeballing in the Amazon River, and you are safe from Pacu, if that's even remotely true. Glad we cleared that up.
Brazilian swimmers and fishermen lost their nuggets thanks to these things. And those human teeth are fixed to some very...
Who put their balls in the fish? That didn't happen by accident. They were not swimming in a muddy river bare ass, and the Pacu came up and bit them off. Some dude was like, yo, I'm gonna put my nuts in this fish's mouth. And the Pacu went, and then they told all their friends, they're like, he came out of nowhere.
crushing jaws. Sorry to make you squirm, guys. While the Pacu may not be as aggressive as its meat-eating cousin, they're still pretty notorious for being deadly. I guess what I'm saying is, you better have some cojones if you're going to go hunting for the Pacu. Just be prepared to come back with less than you once had. Number 7.
Why does he keep saying it like that?
We all know that water and electricity don't mix, so the idea of an electric
they do
fish
mix,
is
actually.
just inherently dangerous.
Water and electricity do mix. They mix incredibly well. That's the problem. It just, water transmits electricity really well.
Thankfully,
So they
there's only
do
one
mix.
species of electric fish in the world. Unfortunately, it's exactly as dangerous as you'd expect it to be. The electric eel is native
only
to
one
the rivers
species
South
of
America,
electric fish in the
including
world?
the Amazon. Its body is finely tuned and designed for maximum shock, with all its vital organs found in the body's front 20%.
Okay, just to confirm that maybe I'm wrong. Electric eel, electric catfish, and electric rays. Even if you're only talking about strongly electric fish, you talk about ones that use electroreception, there's fucking, like, all of the sharks.
The other 80% is made up of 6,000 cells, all brimming with electrical energy that helps the eel to generate a 600-volt sting. You can imagine how much damage an 8-foot-long electric eel could cause, right? And, to answer the question that I know you're asking, yes, they're perfectly capable of generating an intense electric shock underwater. And yes, it will hurt as much as you'd think. Generally speaking, electric eels don't tend to attack humans. However, it's not unheard of. There have been reports of humans drowning after suffering a particularly nasty shock from an aggressive
What was you doing there?
tend to attack humans. However, it's not unheard of. There have been reports of humans drowning after suffering a particularly nasty shock from an aggressive electric eel. And no, the eels are never charged for their crimes. Some inappropriate wordplay for you there.
All right.
I'm sure you're
Shut up.
buzzing. I need to stop.
Please do.
Number 6.
Just stop.
Black caiman.
What?
If there had to be one reason people don't want to go swimming
Yeah,
in the
fair
Amazon,
enough, I guess.
the black caiman may be it. Often mistaken for a crocodile or an alligator, this giant reptile is the largest predator in the whole Amazon ecosystem. You do not want to mess with this big boy. The black caiman
Big
is
boy.
one of the world's most
Look at those
giant
eyes.
reptiles, often reaching up to 17 feet long and weighing up to 1,000 pounds. But their size doesn't really have a lot to do with why they're so deadly. These animals, much like their alligator brethren, are apex predators. They have no real predators in their natural habitat.
There needs to be a cartoon falling sound on that clip. Marge, add a cartoon falling sound in post when he goes, what? Like a wow. You know what I'm saying?
While some jaguars and otters have been known to take down the black caiman, these instances are rare.
Tucci. Okay, Tucci's in chat. Tucci is a friend of mine who is from Brazil. Tucci, can you confirm the danger of some of these animals in the Amazon River, please?
And exceptional. Generally speaking, animals aren't smart enough to keep their distance, knowing
Nat,
that
Nat, you want clickbait? All right. Nat M is a bitch. Okay, Nat, now you can make a video called AVNJ said what? Where you like look at the camera and you go, AVNJ said what?
the black
You're welcome.
caiman is entirely fearless. The black caiman, like alligators and crocodiles, tends to just take what it wants. That means if a clueless visitor happens to get too close, they better say goodbye to their foot.
Stop.
Or
Stop
their
putting your
life.
hand near it.
Apex predators are like lawyers or judges. They don't play fair, and they have absolutely no sense of humor. I bet the caiman wouldn't even let you finish a knock-knock joke.
No. I think you're right. I bet a caiman wouldn't, appreciate a knock-knock joke. I think you have a point there, actually, Mr. Lemon.
Number 5. Paraiba. Okay,
Paraiba?
so technically
Really?
this one is called the Brachypledostoma, but it's kinda just not fair to me, your friendly neighborhood voiceover artist, to have to keep saying Brachypledostoma. So instead of Brachypledostoma, we're going to call it the Paraiba.
Why the Paraiba? Paraiba sounds so cool. Paraiba. Paraiba. Man, fuck English pronunciation of foreign words. Why can't we just say them right? Sounds so much cooler in native language.
Anyway, the Brachypledostoma is so deadly. Paraiba, man. God, I need to remember that. The Paraiba is the largest species of all Amazonian catfish, often known as the freshwater shark.
So deadly that here stands Jeremy Wade holding it with only him smiling. I mean, then again, Jeremy Wade is clinically insane when it comes to dangerous fish, but like, I mean, come on.
Shark. I spent all that time clearing that up that I could have just called it a freshwater shark. Anyway, this catfish.
What is this dude on? He like forgot the script and is like stalling for time because he doesn't want to have to do a second take of the video. So like while he quickly brings up his browser again, he's just saying random things. It's like, oh fuck, if I have to record a second clip and then I'm gonna have to edit them together.
Fish is one of the most notorious predators in the Amazon River, one of the most active hunters who will go after just about any living animal it happens to see. And yes, that does include humans. Local fishermen from the area have been known to tell tales of people mysteriously disappearing in catfish territory. I have a feeling they're not going on moonlight walks. While there is a dispute over exactly how big the Paraiba is, we know for a fact that it is big and deadly. The largest recorded Paraiba weighed a whopping 341 pounds, which I think we can all relate to post-Christmas. Number 4. Red-tailed catfish.
What was that image?
We can all relate to post-Christmas.
Also, I saw a red-tailed catfish and I'm angry. Why is there a lemon looking at an orange with a juicer?
Number 4.
And the orange is like, no, please, don't juice me.
Red-tailed catfish.
No. Red-tailed catfish used to be my favorite fish, and I said that I wanted a red-tailed catfish as a pet to my grandmother. And she was like, they get like really big, right? And I was like, yeah, they get pretty big. And she was like, what if it like tried to eat you? And I was like, oh no, it couldn't eat a fully grown person. It could eat like a baby though. So like when I have kids, we should put a fence around the pond. And she was horrified. But yeah, no, not dangerous.
Usually, if an animal isn't known to attack or feast on humans, that's some kind of relief. In the case of the red-tailed catfish, not so much.
So pretty.
I mean, it is a little bit of a relief, but I'm not chomping at the bit
so
to go and
pretty,
give
sweet
this guy
booby.
a hug, you know? The red-tailed catfish gets its name from being a catfish with a red tail, but...
Wow. The more you know.
You probably already worked that out. They can reach up to 5 feet or more in length, and weigh up to 180 pounds.
Sounds.
Making...
It sounded like the pufferfish video, but better. It just went...
them a popular target for fishermen who just really want to work on their biceps. Generally, these animals are peaceful towards humans, preferring to stay completely motionless in the day and only eat at night. But make no mistake, they are territorial fish. If they are not happy about you moving in their territory, you better expect them to take action. The red-tailed catfish is aggressive and highly predatory, both to other fish and to human aggressors. And if you're new to the world of catfish, they're not like cats. Seriously, you can toss a ball of wool into the water and they will do nothing. They'll just ignore it.
Disappointing.
Honestly, I don't even know why I'm still doing it. Number 3. Arapaima. Given that it belongs to the bony tongue family of fish, you would expect the Arapaima to be a little bit scary. Well, sure enough, they are horrifying animals, but in the world of the Amazon River, horrifying is the new beautiful, or something like that. The Arapaima is a streamlined fish that can survive in conditions other species cannot. When the rivers overflow, these fish find themselves in remote areas of the forest, where the low oxygen levels tend to kill other species. The Arapaima, however, can breathe air with no problem and can survive up to 24 hours outside of the water.
Can breathe air with no problem. Like, that's a huge advantage. No, it's not that they can breathe air with no problem. It's that they can only breathe air. And the reason that they're going extinct is because they have to come to the top of the water to get air, and humans are like, yo, Arapaima, and then just fucking catch them and kill them.
But that's not why it's dangerous. How this 10-foot-long fish eats is dangerous. When they open their huge mouths, they create a vacuum, pulling in all nearby food. They're
literally every fish does that. Like, almost every fish suctions in water. That's like how fish's protrusible jaws work. That is not an Arapaima thing.
tongues and razor-sharp teeth, as well as the second set of nightmarish teeth on the roof of their palates, shred their prey to pieces within seconds. The
Oh my
Arapaima
God,
is one of the most
Maximilla
deadly
teeth.
animals in the Amazon River,
That's so
purely based on
dangerous.
speed and capability alone. Not only can it rip apart several small fish at once, but it can also survive on land for a whole day. And come on, nobody wants to find a fish with multiple teeth? Absolutely not.
No one wants to find a fish with multiple teeth. How often do you find fish with just one tooth? I don't think I've ever seen a fish with just one tooth. A toothed fish? Okay. Teethed fish? Holy fuck, get that away from me.
Number 2. Goonch.
Goonch.
Much
Goonch also used to be my favorite catfish. I love Goonch. Goonch definitely ate people. The Paraíba, the Parara probably didn't eat people. The Goonch for sure snacked on some dudes. I am 100% sure that the Goonch has eaten dozens of people. So I'll go with fair enough.
like the Gruffalo and other sinister storybook beasts, the Goonch is just as terrifying as it sounds. Mostly because so little is known about it, but what we do
Did you say just as terrifying as it sounds? Yeah, Goonch really strikes fear into the hearts of the people. It just sounds like a euphemism for vagina.
know about this mysterious fish is enough to know that we really shouldn't be underestimating it. Part of the reason that the Goonch is such a mystery is that it's so darn hard to find.
But that would really give it a bit more weight. I mean, it would probably weigh...
Some fishermen have been known to spend months...
What a terrible clip! He just got mid-sentence Jeremy Wade. We didn't get to hear the start or end of that sentence.
waiting to catch one of these things in its most frequent spots, only to come up empty. But those that have caught one have a story to tell, with some describing it as a raging bull. Apparently this fish is so fierce that it's been known to take on a crocodile without any fear. And given their average size is over 3...
How do you know if it had fear when it took on the crocodile or not? Did you ask it? Mr. Goonch, Mr. Goonch, Mr. Goonch, are you feeling fear right now as you attack this crocodile?
300 pounds? That sounds about right. While most anglers have been unsuccessful in catching the legendary Goonch, those who have triumphed are quick to point out how deadly it can be. A 300-pound fish with sharp teeth and a lot of confidence certainly makes for a potentially dangerous experience. I guess the freaky-sounding name adds up. You can look forward to my upcoming storybook,
That's not a
How the
Goonch.
Goonch Stole Christmas. Number 1.
The number... I was gonna pause it before I saw it, but really? How is the most deadly river monster of the Amazon the tiny fish that supposedly swam up a dude's dick one time? And it's not even like a real thing that probably actually happened, it's a myth.
Candiru. Despite the adorable name, the candiru or toothpick fish is far from the cute, cuddly animal you wish it was. Actually, it's one of the most terrifying animals in the Amazon River, a parasitic freshwater fish that is more feared than the piranha. The candiru is a translucent, eel-shaped fish that feeds on the blood of their prey. Because they're so difficult to see in the water, these parasitic fish find it very easy to discover and latch onto their prey, usually by swimming directly into their gills and sucking on their blood. Of course, the prey dies pretty quickly, and the candiru head off to their next target. For humans, the experience is no less painful. Smaller specimens are generally known to, insert themselves into a human's urethra, the, urinary tube, if that...
In mythology, they are known to do that, but even if that was true, don't fucking... How is this like 7 spots ahead of a caiman? I feel like the caiman was so long ago. How did the candiru get this far above the caiman? Alright, one more video. This is my chill out video, because it is by my boy, Mr. Burger King Foot Lettuce. 11 giant creatures. This giant creature was caught on tape.
Creatures are all over the internet, while others are less frequently seen. Number 11. This mysterious blob recently oozed its way onto the shores of Acapulco, Mexico. It has no smell and therefore is not a floating piece.
Like, I was fully expecting his voice, but oh my god. When it came in, it just hit me. I was like fully expecting him to sound like him, but not as much as he did.
Piece of sea garbage. As curious officials poked and prodded this formation, they were surprised to feel a full skeletal system underneath. The floppy, deflated area in particular looks like it could have been the head. The many holes were probably numerous eyes that have since been picked clean by hungry fish. Researchers are clueless as to what this could possibly be, but
Well,
if you think you know something they don't, then I welcome your best guess. Judging from its huge
whale.
size, I'm guessing this creature had very little predators and could have eaten practically anything it wanted.
Whale. Just looks like decaying muscle mass.
Number 10. This underwater video was shot aboard the EV Nautilus, a famous
Why did he
research
say
vessel
Nautilus
owned by the
like
same
that?
person who found the sunken Titanic.
The
Little
EV
does the crew know they are
Nautilus.
moments away from yet another mystifying discovery, this time in the Gulf Coast of Mexico. Off in the distance, they spy a giant creature coming at them fast. You can
Oh my god, it's a Siphona 4. Did he say coming at them fast?
hear both surprise and fear in their voices. They order the captain to retreat.
What?
Or it could be fishing line. You don't want that.
Giant creatures. The reason that he acted like they backed away in fear could be fishing line. They didn't back away in fear, they just didn't want their propellers to get caught in fishing line, bro.
Huge Siphonophore.
It could be.
What looks like a long floating rope of intestine is actually a creature known only as a Siphonophore. I'm not sure.
You just heard them say it. How are you saying it wrong? Where did you come up with Siphonophore? They just said Siphonophore. Fuck.
If it is being carried by the currents
sorry.
or moving
I'm
on
angry.
its own, but at one point it does come close to the team and almost seems to demonstrate a limited degree of curiosity as it hovers nearby.
There's no degree of curiosity. It's a colony of tiny organisms. It is not. There's no. Okay.
If you think this particular specimen is large, they can actually grow to be hundreds of feet long. Siphonophores are carnivores, but thankfully for us humans, this one seems to prefer the bottom of the ocean floor, far away from where we tend to swim. Number 9.
We
A
tend
Russian
to
YouTuber
swim.
named Diamond Operator rides his bike past a giant creature that is easily twice the size of a person.
Jesus Christ.
The creature uses its many legs to easily close the distance between itself and Diamond Operator. When it gets within spitting range, it unleashes some sort of sludge all over his rear camera. Look past the slime and you'll see a European cop car chase it away at the last moment before it's too late. Hopefully the police were able to sort the situation out, whatever.
Hopefully the police were able to sort this situation out. What are the police supposed to do in this situation? Is that really in the protocol? In the police academy? The police later died.
It was, and for the future of the human race, I hope there aren't more of them out there lying in wait. Number 8. This video, taken in Jacksonville, Florida, and posted to YouTube by the Jacksonville Zoo, momentarily shows a gigantic dinosaur-looking creature with an impossibly long neck that stretches up to meet the roof of a nearby building. You only get
Yeah, that's literally what it is. It's a statue of a sauropod, you dumbass. It's a zoo. They have models and statues. Huh?
get to see the creature for a split second before they take off and keep running, which seems like a realistic response to me. However, since the creature does not move at all, it could be a statue or CGI.
Could it? Could it be a statue?
Also, the beginning of the video shows them just kind of standing around, and I really doubt something of that size could sneak up so close without anyone noticing. Number 7. Everyone knows about the ostrich, but few people know about the wild cassowary.
Everybody knows about the ostrich. I just can't take in any of the information because the way he says things.
Another 100-pound bird that can do you in with a razor-sharp inside talon. First of all, check out this vicious
Stop talking
low
like
kick.
that.
This would have no problem slicing you or me wide open, and the hissing scream it makes is unlike any other bird.
I've identified the problem.
Wide open, and the hissing scream it makes is...
He's using a rake, and a rake that is bending at the touch. Like use a knife or a gun or something. The problem isn't the bird is dangerous. The problem is that you are using a bendy rake to fight it off.
Run at you and I'll just keep kicking. Hit her in the air and he'll go for your throat, your stomach or your groin.
And that's just a kick standing still. When one of these giant birds is running at you at top speed, they can deliver a flying talon straight to your jugular. They are highly aggressive and will almost always defend their territory to the very end. Number 6. Nobody is sure what the US forces are doing in this 2014 video taken from an undisclosed location somewhere in New Mexico apparently. Soldiers kneel down as a blast rips through the air. It looks like it hits nothing at all, but then the edges of the ripple inward to reveal what could be the outline of a giant round invisible creature. Some people are claiming this is simply a drill using new technology we don't know about. Others say that this is not an exercise at all, but rather a real desert battle with a creature. Listen to the noise it makes and tell me if you think this is the sound of a passing fighter jet or the terrifying roar of a real monster.
What?
Dash 3, good hits.
Number 5. On this night in Florida, a YouTuber named Deer Meat for Dinner is after a different type of wild game than his name would suggest, something much more dangerous. You'll have to go to his channel to see exactly how they managed to land this giant creature, because it's a battle that unfortunately I can't show here, but the end result is just as terrifying as the battle itself. 4 grown men struggle to pull a gator aboard.
Why are you pulling that on that tiny boat?
As their shoulders.
Why would you pull that on that tiny boat?
Battle that brings the
what
boat
are you
closer
doing?
To its tipping point. They have
Why
to
does that need to go on the boat?
And for a while, it looks like they might lose their grip and let their catch sink to the bottom. The entire time I'm waiting for the gator to snap back to life as they roll it onto the boat.
Why?
Deer Meat for Dinner orders everyone away from the tail that could easily snap a leg.
Okay. There's all kind of lines in there.
When they get back, the team needs an actual heavy-duty crane to lift the giant beast up and get a final measurement. It's 13 feet and 2 inches long and weighs 1,127 pounds, a new Florida record. I feel like you can really gain a better idea of its size from this angle. The YouTuber is a pretty tall guy, and this thing's tail alone comes up all the way to his head. Number 4.
Why?
Barrett rods suspending the day kayak fishing. When a terrifying creature suddenly takes flight above water, at first it just sits on the surface and then it makes its move. The bizarre creature is larger than Barrett's arm. It has a snake-like body, a large hole for a mouth, and 2 elongated fins that look very...
Those aren't 2 elongated. It's fish eating another fish.
8 seconds into the video, Barrett raises his hands in surprise, but I doubt it would have been enough to protect him. Fortunately, the animal changes its trajectory at the last second in silence. Fortunately, his hands in surprise.
I mean, it's cool, but it's not. It's clearly just a fish that's being eaten by these 2 fish. It's not a flying fish. This is a fish that is dead and being eaten by these 2. Like, he's acted like they're one organism attacking.
2 elongated fins
Those aren't elongated fins.
Very sharp to the touch.
Giant creatures caught on tape. It's literally the size of a man's hand.
8 seconds into the video, Barrett raises his hands in surprise, but I doubt it would have been enough to protect him. Fortunately, the animal changes its trajectory at the last second and silently sinks back into the water.
Man, why does everything have to be so sensationalized? That's cool. 2 fish managed to propel themselves out of the water while eating another fish. That's cool as hell while eating a dead fish. Why does it have to be a giant mysterious creature? Why can't it just be a cool nature interaction?
I guess it must have bitten through the fishing line. Number 3.
Oh, it was on a line? So they didn't even pull it out of the... He pulled a fish out of the water and there were fish feeding on it. And he called this... Oh, okay. Yep.
Next entry has appeared in many different giant creature videos, and I just wanted to lay the rumors to rest, while also properly crediting the original source. This sighting of a giant creature in Vancouver belongs to a talented YouTuber named Hollywood Scotty, who is known for professional special effects. Obviously, the chances of a special effects designer happening upon a giant monster in real life are very slim. Still, this video has fooled many people since 2017 and is definitely a testament to his skills. Be sure to check out his other videos. You may find a few other famous sightings that you thought were real too. Number 2.
Okay.
This giant flat
creatures caught on tape and it's fake.
is actually a beached oarfish laying on its side. A confirmed bystander pushes it back into the water with her
dead,
paddle,
my dude.
which could be a mistake because it proceeds to head directly for the person holding the camera.
Their mouths are literally fucking tiny. They could not fit your finger in their mouths. There is no danger of an oarfish coming towards you.
Oh my god.
Although it seems more concerned with getting away than taking a bite, this is still not...
It's not concerned with getting away, it's concerned with fucking dying because of a deep sea fish that is now in the upper ocean because it got sick. That fish is dead within the day.
Not an animal that I would want to have anywhere near me, especially in such shallow waters. It almost seems to make eye contact as it passes directly under her feet before straightening out and swimming away. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds?
No, I
because
won't.
I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at Deadliest chillin' YT.
I don't care.
And tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. These friends are playing in the woods.
A giant creature caught on camera
catches their eye and gives them pause, completely filling the wide gap between 2 nearby trees is a tall dark figure that may or may not be wearing a business suit.
The video just ended. What? This has to be comedy. What? I gotta replay that.
In the woods, when something out of place catches their eye and gives them pause, completely filling the wide gap between 2 nearby trees, is a tall dark figure that may or may not be wearing a business suit.
What? Wow, okay. I guess he was onto it. He was onto them too much. He was doing too much. Can I link the video? Sure, Nat. I'll watch the video. I don't know if he forgot to edit that or what. Okay, I gave Nat some clickbait. Nat uploaded this video. AVNJ said, what? Nat M is a bitch. Nice. And I'd do it again. And I do it again. What are you saying, Theo? All right. So in the past, we raided Simply. Everyone go follow Simply on Twitch right now. We raided Simply. And he's doing Freestyle Friday, okay? We raided him last Freestyle Friday, but not enough of you were following because of the 5-minute follower mode. But we want him to freestyle about fish, okay? So make sure you are following Simply so that when we raid Simply, you can ask him to rap about fish. We need to make him rap about fish, okay? That is our only goal. If Simply raps about fish in some way, shape, or form, we will be complete. Okay? Alright. I'm sending you there now. He's actually a pretty good rapper. I'll suggest fish in the chat. Hopefully we get him there. Have a nice day. Hope you guys enjoyed the presentation and everything. It was a good time. I will be back soonish. I have another presentation to do. But, yeah. Have a good day.
Up in the chat, but I'm typing. Yeah. They type CEX, they ain't probably seen sex. Yeah. If they type in CEX, they ain't probably seen sex. Huh? Yeah. Wait. Probably need to go flex. Probably need to go check. Probably need to get X. What? Yeah. Got checks.